Tonight on Elon Local News.
Moving out, we take a look at the extra benefits you can get from donating.
The Breakaway Trail. We look at the new hiking trail coming to Alamance County.
And drawing the line, we talk to one man who is changing the stigma around tattoos.
The 90s, it wasn't something like it is now.
All that and more.
Elon Local News starts right now.
Live from the Jane and Brian Williams studio at Elon University School of Communications, you're watching Elon Local News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Rachel Ellis.
And I'm Perry Elliott-Irani.
Elon sophomore and baseball player Joseph Satterfield is suspended indefinitely from the Elon baseball team for a violation of team rules. According to an arrest report obtained by Elon News Network, Satterfield was arrested early Friday morning after making a forcible and unauthorized entry into a home and for consuming alcohol under the age of 21. Satterfield posted a $1,000 bond to be released from Alamance County Detention Center. ENN tried to contact Satterfield and Elon Athletics, but neither returned their request for comment. Satterfield's court date is set for May 8th. And for more information, go to our website, elonnewsnetwork.com.
A new addition to the North Carolina Mountain to the Sea Trail is opening just 10 minutes from Elon's campus. The new segment, known as the Breakaway Trail, is a 4.4-mile round trip and will run through the Guilford County Farm. This expansion is part of the Mountain to Sea Trail, which begins in the North Carolina mountains and ends in the Outer Banks. Guilford County Farm Supervisor John Gladstone says he hopes the expansion of the trail will strengthen relationships with the Elon community and the Alamance County residents.
This gives an opportunity for the students, the faculty, any visitors, parents' weekends, family weekends, is that they have a place to come, they have a place to meet, hike a beautiful trail, come see all the other opportunities that we have here on the farm.
The Guilford County Farm will be having a grand opening for the trail expansion Friday at 2:30 following a ribbon cutting ceremony where community members will be able to walk the new trail for the first time.
The 2017-2018 academic calendar might be coming to an end in just a few weeks, but Elon's Student Government Association is already looking forward to next year. Every year, SGA is in charge of assigning budgets for all student organizations on campus. Each organization makes a pitch, and then SGA members come to a reasonable number for each organization. Executive Treasurer Max Pavanka says one of the worst parts of his job is having to give an organization a lower budget than asked for.
There are limitations because if we do want to work to help organizations who are doing great things on this campus, we can't give every organization exactly what they want. We have to slowly increase organizations' budgets.
Over the past 3 years, the amount of money SGA allocates to organizations has steadily increased. This year, SGA had more than $750,000 to allocate. Pavanka says the budget becomes larger as enrollment at the university increases. He also says other factors like including how long an organization has been on campus is a part of the decision process.
During the discussion, some things we consider are how much of their current budget have they used? Do they have plans to use the rest of their budget? What events do they have on there? Are there certain events that we can't fund because they're outside of the guidelines of what we say we can fund?
Student Union Board consistently has one of the highest budgets with $138,000. SUB is responsible for many events on campus, including scheduling the homecoming performer.
Elon Admissions has released the numbers of the people accepted into the Fellows programs for the class of 2022. The College Fellows program will be the largest with 55 students. That's an increase from the 49 admitted last year. And on the lower end, Teaching and Leadership Fellows will have the fewest new members with 25 each. Teaching Fellows also admitted 25 students last year, while the Leadership program only accepted 22 last year. Every program except the Honors Fellows program has expanded or maintained the number of students accepted into the program with this year's incoming class. Elon now has a Native American Student Association known as NASA, organized by Senior Bear Toze, Ariel Watkins, and Zena Burwell. Organizers have been working to receive developmental status as a student organization over the past few months, but just received official recognition last week. Toze, who identifies with Native Cherokee heritage, says he wishes there had been a place for Elon at Elon's campus to help him explore his own Native American identity during college, but he is excited to leave a legacy behind.
It really just came down to wanting to make a last effort to make an impact on this campus, but to also prepare the school to really be inclusive next year with the incoming class.
For more information on NASA, check out Phoenix Connect. Any student, regardless of background or identity, is welcome to join.
And Wednesday is Hijab Day at Elon, and some students are participating by wearing a scarf or cap for the day. The goal of Hijab Day is to start conversations and show solidarity against Islamophobia. This will be the third year Elon celebrates Hijab Day, expecting the number of participants to rise. 60 students participated by wearing hijabs throughout the day last year, which was 40 more people than the previous year. There will be a dinner and discussion from 6 to 7:30 p.m. on Wednesday in the McBride Gathering Space.
With classes ending and move out just a few weeks away, students are getting ready to pack up their belongings. Our Michelle Klein took a look at some of the places where students can donate their extra stuff.
Just over 100 yards apart, Goodwill and the Salvation Army are both nonprofit thrift stores that survive like most nonprofits do.
Thank you. You have a good
But
day.
instead of cash donations, they thrive on donated goods.
We couldn't do the things we do for the community without the public support.
David Eggleton is the store manager of the Salvation Army, where they accept everything from clothes and shoes to mattresses and will even take cars off your hands. For every dollar they make, 86 cents gets sent right back into the community. As a charity, Eggleton with the Salvation Army support victims of natural disasters, local Boys and Girls summer camps, church missions trips, the Salvation Army food pantries, and homeless shelters.
There's no competition. We're the best.
But just a couple doors down, Goodwill's competing for donated goods to serve their own mission.
Giving people a hand up, not a handout, so that they can become self-sufficient.
Public Relations Director Gail Kettler says Goodwill uses 85 cents from every dollar they raise for its career development programs. Their career centers attached to their stores provide job training and employment placement services for the unemployed and underemployed.
So that's the triple win is for the job seeker, for us helping support what we do, and then for our partners, whether they're community colleges or businesses looking to hire people. And the big winner is the community.
Goodwill's an international company, but each region of stores is autonomous. The Goodwill on South Church Street is one of 22 stores in the central North Carolina region called Triad Goodwill. Both these thrift store neighbors are giving back to the Elon community, but in different ways. Michelle Klein, ELN.
There are more than 30 thrift stores in Burlington, so the hardest choice when you're donating might just be picking which one.
And students hoping to see Elon's spring musical American Idiot should get ready to wait in line. All 6 shows sold out Thursday. The day tickets went on sale. American Idiot is a stage adaptation of pop band Green Day's 2004 album. The show will run this upcoming Thursday through Monday in Scott Studios, located next to Arts West on West Haggard Avenue. If you still want to see the show, arrive 1 hour early to secure a seat. For more information, visit elonperformingarts.com.
And when we come back, we'll have the new dean of the School of Communications live right here in the studio.
You're watching Elon Local News.
For the first time since being named the next dean of the School of Communications, Dr. Rochelle Ford is on campus visiting the place she will call home starting June 30th. Ford is coming from Syracuse University, where she was a professor and chair of the Public Relations Department. Before Syracuse, Ford spent 16 years in the School of Communications at Howard University in Washington, D.C. Dr. Ford now joins us to talk about her new job as Elon's next dean of the School of Communications. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Ford.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So tell us, when you first found out, where were you? What was your reaction?
So I was actually preparing to take my children to the March for Our Lives in Washington, D.C. We were packing up 5 teenagers and getting ready to hop into a minivan to drive down so that they could express their First Amendment rights.
Fantastic. Dr. Ford, we spoke to Provost Stephen House last week, and here's what he said. In regards to your hiring, he said, she was the type of candidate we thought we'd get, an outstanding candidate. Certainly getting an African-American candidate in the pool, you dream about that. That is not the deciding factor, but that is a piece of the information that you put into that, and I'm very, very excited that we've been able to diversify our senior leadership at the university. I think it's good for our School of Communications, I think it's good for the university, and I think it's great for our students. Dr. Ford, what role should race play in the hiring of university administrators?
Well, I think that it's important that you look at all different aspects of diversity. I think it's exciting when you have a diverse applicant pool, whether it's race, gender, ethnicity, religion, regionality, and that universities try to ensure that their faculty as well as their administrators reflect the student body that they have.
Fantastic.
And so when we're looking up with the school you're coming from, you probably are aware in the past week there have been a lot of attention given to the university about the racial slurs used in a video released by a fraternity. So I'm curious now, what at Elon, if an incident like that were to occur, what kind of action do you think would you recommend, would you hope to see the university take?
Well, I think that it's important when any sort of incident happens that the university takes a careful look at itself to its own climate, and that it also follows whatever the protocols are in place for disciplinary actions, because it's horrible, the video that came out. It was despicable, I mean, to everyone. I know the students claimed that it was satire, but it's also important for us to understand that there is a process in which the university has to go through when it comes to disciplinary actions. In Syracuse's case, immediately, because it was not representative of the type of organizations and type of rhetoric that we want to have on our campus, that fraternity was suspended. So there was swift action for that organization, but for the individual students, they have rights and there's a process in place, and so the universities need to know what those processes are and then make sure that it's a fair and deliberate process and an expedited process. But it's also important for universities to continue to understand the climate in which they operate and be honest with themselves. And then when students have issues where they believe that they are doing parodies or they're doing something that's in satirical nature, to help students understand the power and responsibility that comes out when you try to produce something of that nature, and how words can be hurtful, and depending upon who the sender is and the power in which they possess, that there also becomes responsibility. And I think there's lessons in it also with our own social media usage, and how sometimes when you think things are private, they're no longer private. And so it's important that universities help with that media literacy part, as well as ensuring that there's a climate of respect on campus.
Well, thank you so much for your time. And
we have one more question.
Sure, yeah.
What's your goal? What kind of legacy do you want to leave on this campus?
Well, I want to make sure that we continue to elevate the school. There's an amazing legacy that Paul Parsons has built in the school, and the faculty and the staff and the students have an amazing reputation already. But how can we make it even better? How can we sustain that? How can we make sure that we keep moving forward? And so I hope that it will be one that of continuing to elevate what has already begun here.
Thank you, Dr. Ford. We really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us this evening. Coming up, one man is fighting the stigma using a unique form of art.
And later, I'll have the Phoenix 5-day forecast for you live from the rainy Citroen Plaza.
Perry, it has not been very nice outside.
No,
it was this
not
weekend.
Today. It was
we
so
lost
beautiful.
it. We lost our good streak.
I know. I walked to class today and it just made me sad. So maybe Stephanie Hayes will have some good news on the horizon. She's in Citroen Plaza now.
Thanks, Rachel and Perry. Well, the rain is picking up again. It started around noon today. Then we had a bit of a break, and it is right back here on the rainy Citroen Plaza. The temperature currently is 58 degrees, so we're going to get down to 56 tonight, so we've managed to escape those freezing temperatures. Now let's take a look at our Phoenix 5-day forecast. Don't put away your umbrellas and raincoats just yet. The rain will be continuing on Tuesday and Wednesday. We're going to have a bit of a break on Thursday with overcast skies before the rain rolls back in on Friday. The temperatures, though, are rising with a high of 66 tomorrow and highs in the mid-70s for the rest of the week with lows in the 50s. But if you're worried the rain's going to dampen your weekend plans, you don't have to. The sunshine will be back on Saturday with a high of 72 and a low of 49. So as they say, April showers bring May flowers, so get ready for the rain as April finishes out, but get excited for the sunshine as May rolls in. Back to you all in the studio.
And with all the events over the weekend, one that wasn't as busy as usual was the Danley Center neighborhood's 15th annual Chicken Pickin'. Our Carly Thomas was there.
The Chicken Pickin' event was a competition between students on who could grill the best chicken. Although there were originally 19 teams that signed up, only 6 teams showed up to the competition. Community Director of the Danley Center neighborhood, Detrick Robinson, says the numbers were so low because some teams didn't pick up their chicken due to bad weather last week. Even with a limited number of teams, Robinson says this event is a good way for students to get to know each other.
Just a chance for students to come together, talk to each other, show off their cooking skills. It's not really an educational event, it's really a chance for them to be social and to get to know their neighbors.
As each team grilled and presented their chicken for the judges to try, each team was using a variety of seasonings and flavors for their chicken. The first place winners, sophomores Grace Hardy and Megan Hanratty, uses a mojito lime flavor rather than the common choice of a barbecue flavor.
We kind of saw the seasoning when we were shopping for this event, and we saw it would be kind of like a more unique flavor.
After all the fun activities, games, and grilling, half of the teams won prizes. With $600 in Amazon gift cards given away, Hardy and Hanratty took home $300 in an Amazon gift card as their winnings. Carly Thomas, Elon, Local News.
This event is open to all members of the Elon community, not just residents of the Danley Center neighborhood.
Getting inked, for many, it's a marker of adulthood. According to the Statistic Brain Research Institute, 36% of U.S. adults aged 18 to 25 have at least one tattoo. Our Megan Gittleman found one local tattoo artist trying to erase the stereotype behind the ink.
A winding sidewalk and a short flight of stairs bring you to the door of a little brick house. Inside, you'll find a family of sorts at Inferno Ink Tattoo and Body Piercing Studio.
When I first started here, it was just me and my boss, the guy who owns the place. We had a couple other artists here. They all have left. I'm the only one who really stayed and stuck it out.
Jordan Goldston is the head tattoo artist at Inferno Ink. He's worked there for 7 years at a job he never saw himself having.
Just growing up in the 90s, it wasn't something like it is now where it's like, I want to grow up and be a tattoo artist. If I told my parents that back then, they would have been like, no, you're not.
Goldston says his passion for tattooing others comes from the connection he has with his clients.
I put a lot of myself into it so they can enjoy this and have it for the rest of their life.
And Goldston's not just passionate about giving tattoos, he loves getting them. He lost count around 30.
My very first one is up here on my arm.
Goldston says a lot of people have negative associations with tattoo shops.
You walk in there, the place smells like weed as soon as you walk in the door. Or the guys obviously been drinking, or they're intoxicated to some degree, or the employees are arguing with each other.
But he hopes he can change their minds.
I'll be in Walmart, for instance, and there'll be some old lady standing in line, and they just won't care. They'll just walk right up and just, I feel a little brittle hand just grab my arm, and they're looking, and they start asking me about my tattoos, when I could say, please don't touch me, like I kind of want to, but, I sit there and let them, I indulge them, look all you want, I don't bite.
Something to keep in mind next time you see someone who looks a little different from you. In Burlington, Megan Gittleman, Elon Local News.
Inferno Ink is a 12-minute drive from campus. It's one of the 5 tattoo shops here in Burlington.
With a pendulum coming out this Wednesday, we have our Anton Delgado live in the newsroom to tell us what to expect with this week's paper. Anton.
Good evening, and I'm Anton Delgado, and I'm inside live at the ENN newsroom. Week's edition of The Pendulum, and boys, an exciting edition this week. In our news section, we have a front page investigative piece about immigrant-related arrests in Alamance County and how those directly affect Elon students. Our cheat sheet this week will also focus on the arrests that happened in a Starbucks in Philadelphia last week. On our sports section, we have an exciting piece about the 2nd annual baseball alumni weekend that happened this past weekend. Events over the weekend included a tailgate and cheering on the Elon men's baseball team against their game against the University of Hartford. On our lifestyle section, we have a phenomenal new piece, an even newer Mountain to Sea trail that'll be opening up right near Elon's campus. But to get more information about that trail, you'll need to grab a copy of this week's Pendulum that'll be available all around campus nearby. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Anton.
And coming up after the break, I talked to some Elon baseball alumni who came back to campus. More for sports coming up.
Welcome back. We have Christian Galvano right here in the studio to give you some updates on Elon sports this weekend.
Thanks, Perry and Rachel. It's always special to come back to relive your college glory days. I talked to some Elon baseball alumni who were able to just do that, and they were not shy about their appreciation for the university's baseball program. Take a look. Food, fastballs, and old friends. This weekend was the second annual Men's Baseball Alumni Weekend. There were several events before and after Saturday's game against Hartford in honor of past teams.
It's a university now, it's a college. Yeah. The Fighting Christians.
Freshman year, we were the first team ever to win 40 games.
Yeah, we won 40. We won 41? 41. 41 and 10?
Yep.
These Elon alumni from the class of 1985 were actually 42-9 in their freshman season. Still to this day, they hold one of the best records in Elon baseball history. Recent graduates were also in attendance. Dallas Tarleton from the class of 2009 transferred to Elon in his junior year and is proud to call himself a Phoenix baseball alumnus.
I have not one regret from coming here and playing here, and it was, the kind of start to everything since then for me. So
the weekend was overseen by Mike Kennedy, who has been head coach for 22 seasons, 17 of those seasons having a winning record and over 700 accredited wins. As an Elon alumnus himself, he welcomes everyone home with open arms.
For me, it's really special because I either coached a lot of these guys or played with some of them, and then knew some of them from Coach Jones, who was here before me. So it's awesome for me to reconnect with the guys that I've been around and coached and played with, but also learn and talk to some of the guys that were here before me.
Christian Galvano, Elon Local News.
Well, that's all the news we have for you tonight. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. And for all the news you need to know when we are off the air, make sure to check out our website, elonnewsnetwork.com.
You can pick up a copy of the Pendulum throughout the stands around campus on Wednesday.
Have a good week, Elon.